Welcome back to Moxie's PhD room. In this video, I will share with you about how I prepared for PhD interviews at Cambridge and Oxford. Some interviews also asked for a presentation of my past research experience or a discussion of a scientific paper, and I will also teach you how I prepare for those as well. By the end of this video, you will have a clear plan of how to prepare and perform successful interviews at any institutions in the UK and in other countries. So stay focused and let's get started. When I did my interviews at Oxbridge, there were between 4 to 6 PIs in each interview. And for some programs, I had to attend 2 interviews consecutively. Each interview lasted between 30 to 40 minutes. And so, for a program with 2 interviews, the total interview time was about 1 hour. I think you already know, but it is better for PhD applicants to attend interviews with smart casual clothes and not with inappropriate clothes like damaged jeans. Remember, first impression is very important. By the way, most programs provided a travel reimbursement up to a certain amount. To perform well in interviews, you should know what types of questions you might be asked so that you can prepare good answers. To do that, I recommend you read your PhD application and CV again, as well as reflecting your past research experiences. You should also have a good understanding of what you have been learning in your undergraduate or postgraduate study. These reflections will be helpful for you because some of the questions I was asked are based on information that I provided to the university in my application. Many of those questions were designed for PIs to determine my intellect and passion to science from my past experiences in university, internships and other activities. Therefore, I recommend you prepare answers to questions like why you would like to study this particular subject, why you would like to do a PhD, why you would like to study in this environment, and what your research interests are. Similar to the PhD application, interviews are intended to assess your suitability to the PhD position the university is offering, as well as to evaluate your competency to work as a researcher. The way you speak and behave are also important during the interview. I advise you not to speak fast or try to act smart to impress PIs during interviews. Instead, you should speak at your own pace and be honest to show your real personality. Try to show that you are feeling comfortable and acting naturally. Remember, PIs are also looking at your personality as well. In my previous video, I advise you to aim to work in a good environment and with good people. And this is also true for PIs. They are also looking for people with whom they find it enjoyable to work with. I have created a video which will share with you some interview questions that you should expect and simple answers from which you could create your own personalized answers. I hope you will find the video useful. Okay, let's move on to the tips to prepare for presentation. I attended 3 interviews which require me to also perform a short 5 to 10 minute presentation. All of these asked me to present on a previous research project I was involved in. As I was only allowed to use 5 slides for presentation, I presented my work in the following order: a title slide with my name, an introduction slide to explain research background, a slide to explain the method I used for a particular work, a results slide to present my data, and a slide to describe conclusions, discussion, and my future work. When I was making these slides, I focused on creating a simple, clear presentation. Therefore, although I had several data I could show, I only presented a single bar chart graph showing the main finding of the study in my results slide. I chose this strategy because I believe that the PIs want to see my understanding of my own work and my thought processes. The amount of data I have are not the most important. Furthermore, it became much easier for me to present, hence minimized making mistakes as well. However, I had also prepared a few extra slides which show additional results and a detailed description of the research technique I used for this project. I was using these slides during the question session after my presentation to provide better answers. You should also do it in this way, as it shows that you have thought and planned carefully for this interview. Finally, let's talk about the paper discussion. I had an interview and a paper discussion for Wellcome Trust 1+3 PhD program in stem cell research at the University of Cambridge. I received 3 different scientific papers a week before my interview date to choose a paper for discussion. I selected the paper I understood most well and can explain the most. I recommend you read the paper multiple times and be prepared to be able to answer following questions. For example, the background to the research, the results and conclusions the authors have made, the principles behind each technique used, any limitations in the study and further research that authors can pursue. Also, you should have a good understanding of what each data are showing, like what was the author measuring to get these data and was there a better way to measure it. You should also read the supplementary materials to understand the paper fully. I did not get any questions from supplementary materials, but it's better to be fully prepared than not. This is all for today. I hope my experiences and suggestions will be useful for your PhD interviews in any university. There is also a video which shows the essay I wrote and submitted to PhD application in Oxbridge. You could also check it to get understanding of how you could write your own essays. Thank you for listening and see you in my next videos.